Hey everybody, Wise Guy here, and I'm bringing you another Eve video. I got a request from the Fixer NL, and he wanted me to do a level 4 solo. And that's what I'm going to do. I came to Azer, Federation Customs, picked up a level 4, and unfortunately, I got the Assault here. So this is going to suck. I'm going to lose my ship. Alright, well, let's do it. I hope you appreciate I'm about to lose a Kronos. Well, actually, I may have a shot. You have to go into a specific order. And alas, I may have to cut recording for a few moments to figure out what that order is. I got a page up. Encounter. Let's go ahead and turn this on right now. What do we got in the drone bay? We got 10 hobgoblins and 7 hammerheads, so we're good there. And the goal, we're going to have to take out the frigates first. Those things are warp scramblers. So those are the primary focus. Everything else can wait. And I'm going to put my cargo here. We got some nanite repair. We're going to probably need that. Good amount of cap boosters. Charges. We're probably going to have to switch to Fed Navy at some point. We'll keep this thorium. Yeah, we'll keep thorium loaded for now. But here we go. If I'm not mistaken, there's no contact. Initial contact as soon as I go in. Activate gate.
Warp drive.
Don't get stuck on the gate. Don't you get stuck on the gate. Perfect. Oh, that. We are stuck on a gate. You silly Kronos. Ooh, wait, are we getting clear? No, it doesn't know what it wants. And we are away. God have mercy on my ship. We're gonna go in the opposite direction as soon as we stop work. Come on. Go. Turn this bad boy on. Okay. Where is it? That's group 3. That's 2. And this is 1 right there. That group is for last. So we need to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't tell. It's hard to see. Let me look at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should be able to lock onto that frigate. I think I have enough skill for that. Oh, maybe not all of them. Those are just cruisers, so it's nothing too bad. Oh, I did get them all locked. Alright, we have 6. And the monkey starts the battle. Alright. The war is on. Oh, listen to the sound of that. We've been dampened. Okay, we have been seriously dampened. But alas, we only have that one group, which is a plus. So come and get me, boys. Can I not lock them? Okay. They need to be within 30 kilometers. What is this? Oh. Okay. It's been a while since I've done any major Eve. So this is all a little bit new to me. Oh, he's almost there. Come on. Come on, you pecker! Oh, stop. We're stopping the ship. We're going at him. Oh, listen to that music. That's awesome music right there. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do something really stupid. We are going to approach. I shot off 2, but I got plenty of time to reload, so we're going to go ahead and reload those 2. Almost there! Almost there! Launch the hobs! Come on, come on! Ah! And he's closing on me. Jeez, flip. Okay, I think we're good to go. Oh, come on. I am not going to be able to do a damn thing here, am I? Keep an eye on those hobs. I don't want to lose any of them. Alright, this son of a gun is not getting... Alright, we are now scrammed. Oh, a little laggy there. Why is this not locking on very fast? There's a lot of noise going on over there. It's locking, it's just taking for frickin' ever. They're working that guy over, that's for sure. And I can't lock him to save my life. Alright, it looks like these two are almost done. So let's just keep waiting it out, I suppose. We'll see what happens. I am webbed, scrammed, and dampened. This sucks! Get your butts over there, hobgoblins, and just destroy this thing! And this one should be ready to rock too. There we go. Destroy him! Yeah. This is what you get for scramming me. Gotta get these guys out so I can do this without too much fear. But we're going to go ahead and load antimatter. Oh yeah, look at him go. Die, you scrammer. Who is doing it? The spy. So that's not the guy that does it. The guardian has me webbed. The spy has me scrammed. One down. Let's get this guy. It still doesn't change. I have to get these guys. After these guys go, I will approach. We're going to be going point blank on these things pretty much. Let's get this afterburner going now that we are no longer scrammed. Or, yeah, webbed I mean, sorry. And the spy is almost there. Down. 2, 3, nope, wait. That guy might be in range. Oh, this is going to take forever. Well, let the hobs go to work. What's going on the local? Dirty TGKN in my local. Oh, well. Beep, beep, beep. Sons of bitch. Sensor damps. God, do these suck. I think I got these right. Kinetic and thermal. Yeah. Got the right ones on. That's for good measure. So let's go ahead and turn these on. Good God! Finished locking. Jesus H, I hate dampeners. I'm gonna blow something up now out of spite. Yeah! Yeah, there's one down. Approach. No, I want to approach this guy. Okay, we are down one dampener. And... it just doesn't care. It's like the honey badger, I suppose. Put in a round of repair right there. I think we took out two. I think the drones took out that guy at the same time. Which is pretty good. This is almost done, so it is improving. Speed is improving. There we go. Yeah, that's right. Okay, that's working out well. What the deuce? They've really improved the sounds of this game. It sounds awesome. I'm enjoying this. I don't need that anymore to save some capacitor. Is it supposed to take this long, or is it still just the dampeners? I'm not sure. Hey, it's Biz! Good old Biz. If you see him in PvP, you better run. He'll whoop some ass. I am amazed at these sounds. What? And I want to return these to Drone Bay. I want to launch some hammerheads. Hammerheads are more medium. They're medium drones. They're more designed for cruisers and batter cruisers and stuff. On vent. Oh. After this group, I may have to pause the recording real quick. And let's launch the hammerheads. Go tear this guy up. Okay, so he is. 1 sec. Have vent muted. Okay, perfect. We made it through that. So far, so good. Let me turn these off real quick. Put in 2 cycles of repair. That sounds perfect. Okay, I'm going to pause the recording real quick, and I'm going to unmute my vents so we can talk to Bizzle while we do this. So be right back. Yep. Say hi to everybody, Biz.
What's up?
You're going to have to review this footage whenever I put it out, but I actually gave you a compliment. I said if you ever come across Biz in PvP, you better haul ass because he'll whoop your ass.
Uh-oh. That's a challenge.
Challenge accepted.
You're gonna get me killed.
No. Maybe. Yeah.
So when are you gonna jump into Wormhole life with us?
How is it going in there?
It's going. The biggest thing is we're getting everybody trained up to fly Proteus, Tengus.
Oh, nice.
Once we get a fleet of Tengus, we will chase sites, valuable sites in other wormholes, not just our own. We do our own with carriers.
Oh, you're rolling with carriers.
Yeah.
Hey Biz, speaking of Tengus, I'm in mine right at the moment, and I've got the heavy missile stuff I just finished researching, and I've got 2 types of heavy missiles. I got the Scourge Fury and the Scourge Precision. Should I just
we are
load
tearing these
all 5 launchers with the same, or should I mix it up?
Yes. Yeah, you should stack all your launchers. They should all have the same as.
Fury or Precision? What do you recommend?
It depends what you're shooting. I think I'm not sure if it's the Precision you would use against like frigates. If you look at the the info on each rocket. Hold on, I have that fit. Hang on a sec.
Yeah, you're right. Precision looks like it says it's great for taking down smaller ships, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, you want to keep them, but for the most part, I think you're only using those on frigs. I think you can use everything else on the cruisers and battleships.
These things take a while to load into the launchers, so you can't just like hot swap them during combat. Which would you think would be a good one to start with when you go into a battle? Probably the bigger one, right?
It all depends. When you know what wave is coming, you'll have plenty of time. And if you're, do you have them stacked?
And by stack you mean where you only press one button and it launches all.
Tearing these things up, guys.
Like all your launches are all on one. They're all stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you, because some guys, believe it or not, didn't know about that and were like manually reloading each one, which obviously would take a while. But like when we know what site we're going to, we know what the first wave, what the second wave, what the third wave is going to be. You have plenty of time to adjust whatever ammo you're going to use.
Here we go, hammerhead time. I think we're in range. Yeah, we are.
Right now it's telling me it takes 10 seconds to load each one of those damn things. It's going to take me a minute to reload.
No.
What is this?
No, it'll take 10 seconds to load them all.
Holy crap, Biz. They have done awesome work on coming out with new sounds and stuff. It is amazing to play with sounds now.
Yeah, it's different.
Oh, that's so cool.
The missile graphics are pretty cool.
I get it, Biz. I see what you're talking about with stacking it.
Yeah.
You can just right-click and select which one you want to, and it'll load them all at the same time.
Exactly.
I was doing it through the main fitting window here because I was fitting the launchers.
Oh, yeah.
I have to admit it looks pretty damn mean with the launchers on it.
Let me see.
Jesus Christ, this is so cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I'm like a little kid in a candy shop, man. It's been a while since I've done any missioning, so this is all new to me.
Have you had your training going nonstop?
Oh yeah, my training's been nonstop, man. I have Aurora on my Android, my Droid X.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I got the same phone.
Yeah, dude. That's a winner of a phone.
Yep. Yeah, the only thing I had to do with it is I had to put a new battery. I had to buy a couple new batteries for it because my phone was getting really slow and it was blanking out and just shutting off by itself. It was getting hung up. Like my navigation would suck. I could barely move. It wouldn't refresh the streets as I was turning or whatever. So I got a couple new batteries and it fixed that problem.
Well, that's good. Could be worse. Could be the iOS's maps.
I broke the screen on it, dropping it, and I had to take the whole phone apart and change the screen.
It happens to the best of us. You know.
So yeah, Squeak, can you use that whole fit? Are you all set with that?
I still have a few more things I have to train.
That's fine.
Ooh, Hammerhead's taking damage. Return to drum
still a month out. So don't think you're in a rush. You gotta. What I did was when I
holy crap, I have everything.
Chase sites with tankers because going next door.
We are about to get our bums killed. I swear to God. Get rid of the frigates at a minimum.
Battleships. That's a quarter of the mass of a wormhole. So you could easily get yourself screwed, or split up on different sides. So I decided when we were going to go to Tengu's, because that's what everybody does, that I trained like all the stuff before the ship. So I have all that stuff I'm all set with all that stuff. I'm actually now training the ship.
We have to get these frigates down
So when I
first.
get it, I'll be good to go.
We are
'Cause it'd be
dropping them like
tempting to wanna
fries.
go out and use it before it's really
Did I just say
optimal.
fries? I'm sorry. I meant flies.
Well, it looks like what I have left
Okay.
is I've got 2 days and 8
One
hours
frigate
to finish
remains.
the
No frigates remain.
tactical shield
Alright, we are
payloader,
down
so I
to
can fit the
1,
adaptive
2,
field.
3. I want to get these
And then after
cruisers
that,
down
it's
next, so
another 4
unlock
days total for the other 2
4
things that
now.
I trained on. So I've got a total
Battleships
of
I can
about
tank,
2
no
days,
problems.
and I'll be completely
I want to
finished.
get rid of these cruisers that have the potential
You're using
dampeners.
tier 2 missiles,
Yes.
and your subsystems. How high are they?
Those need work. I still need to get them higher, but here, let me tell you what I have, because I think we already talked about this once, but it's, the subsystem stuff's all just really medium level, basic. Like, I have Caldera defensive systems at 3.
Alright, we're gonna go down from range after this last
and the
BC
rest are
goes
all
down. Actually, I want to keep
Yeah,
going
you want them
this
all
way.
4, at least, which really doesn't take long. And then if you can, which I think you will, you won't regret getting at least your defensive and your offensive at 5,
Lost a
which would be 4
hammerhead,
days
man.
each.
I'm a little upset. Alright, let's get to it.
Yeah, so that probably will equal out to about the same time you get your ship.
Hammerhead's
Yeah,
on that
each
guy. Go get
level
him.
with the defense gives you
I'll take out the dummy.
5% resist to everything. So if you got it up to
4,
5,
5,
now you'd have 10%
6.
more resist across the board on your shield.
Well, right now it's the shield. Well, my total EHP is 14,000 without damage control on, and but my DPS is kind of lower than I thought it would be. It's only 314 right now.
Okay, there's a bunch of what's it called? Skills that you probably still need to get. Did we? I don't know if it was JSO that I did this with, not you, I think. Do you have rapid launch, warhead upgrades? Does that sound familiar?
No, let me look though.
Yeah, those are all like little optimal range and like gunnery
Yeah,
kind of
rapid launch
stuff.
is at level 2 right now for me is all.
Do you have warhead upgrades?
Yeah, level 2 as well.
Do you have? Geez, there's one. Hold on. I can't remember all of them.
Let me go ahead and inject some capacitor here, just for the giggles.
Missile bombardment.
Yeah, level 2.
Target navigation prediction.
Yeah, level 2.
Yeah, get those all up.
Gotcha. And all of those are going to increase the DPS per missile.
There goes a battleship.
Yeah, because
Ooh.
some affect your range, your flight time. Get your rapid launch. That's gonna be how many? That's your rapid launch is big because that's a pure DPS because you're shooting more in less time, or in the same time, I should say. So your damage per second is obviously going to go up because you're doing more damage in that select amount of time. The warhead upgrades is 2% bonus to all missile damage. So if you got that to 5, that's 10%.
We're switching to
more
antimatter.
missile damage.
Do you know if your augmentations, when you
Oh,
change
come on,
those,
I gotta
does
go
it
through the
reflect
process twice.
the change in your DPS on the
Woo.
fit screen, or
5 seconds.
is that even calculated in there?
What would affect your... What
Alright, let's do
augmentations
this.
do you have
We
that
got
would even affect
antimatter
your
loaded
DPS?
up.
Do you have like...
Time to
I have
tear
no idea.
ass.
I don't have any. I'm just curious if they would. There is one that I actually have bought that increases something to missiles, but I can't remember what it is.
Pretty sure it will.
So you're pretty sure it does actually show the calculation as part of your DPS?
Yeah, like when you go up to your fitting window, if I all of a sudden put in some slave implants which increase my armor, it's going to reflect that. So the same goes for your DPS.
Yeah, right now I have 4 slave implants, and then I've got a couple, well, most of the slot 6 through 10s are more for hybrid turret and armor tanking stuff, targeting, stuff like that.
Battleship down!
Do you have any clones available?
Yeah, I've got a clone.
If you have a clone that doesn't have implants, you might be better off swapping clones, because your slaves do 0 for you in that ship.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I might. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think there's got to be another set of implants that would that has that effect towards your shields, which would make your EHP like go through the roof. Well, a lot more than your EHP does now, because all your resists are in your shields.
Yeah, pretty much everything in my augmentations right now are all based for armor. It's all armor increases to the shield.
Alright, well, I am very pleased. We are tearing these things up. You can't ask for a better go. Fixer out NL, I hope this satisfies what you wanted me to do, man, because I am just tearing it up.
So Wise, can you fly a Tengu?
No. My T3 is a Proteus.
Yeah, I figured that.
Galante all the way, man.
But you can fly. Yeah, me too. You can fly dreads and carriers.
Yes, sir.
Can't you?
I actually have both the Dread and the Carrier, docked up.
Oh yeah. Hey, here's the deal. I don't know if are you aware of how C5 sites work?
Not even a little
Like
bit.
C5 and C6.
Go ahead and enlighten me.
You serious?
Go for it.
Okay. Well, C5 and C6 sites have what's called, I'm sure you've heard of it, escalations.
Briefly. I don't know too much about them.
Alright, so I'm sure you've heard the term site escalations floated around. But anyway, what that is when you... there's a way to do it, but when you go into these sites, in these wormholes, and warp in a carrier or a dread, any cap ship, you will create an escalation wave of more battleships.
Okay.
The amount of battleships directly reflects the amount of salvage and loot you get, or just basically salvage and sleeper data drops, or whatever it's called.
Okay.
So if you could theoretically sit in a wormhole site and just keep getting wave after wave and after wave and just keep clearing them and clearing them, you would be extremely rich. To the point where you'd never want to step foot in a mission ever again.
Okay, you're speaking my language, money.
So what that requires is multiple cap pilots, and there's a couple of different ways.
Losing another drone.
But what ends up happening is the people have figured out that instead of going in with these massive fleets and dividing up money amongst 10 guys because it took that many to take this site down, what they learned to do is go in with bigger ships and less guys, but more effective DPS by the composition of the fleet.
Okay.
So what they're doing is, you know how insanely powerful dreads
Oh,
are,
yeah,
right?
I've seen videos. I haven't had a chance to fly mine around too much yet.
Oh, good, because you
Yeah,
probably would
I
have
would
lost
have.
it. Yeah, without a fleet to back you up, you'll get tackled so fast, especially in low or nullsec. Anyway, so what these guys are doing is that instead of going in with 10 guys, they'll go in with as little as 3 or 4. And what they do is they take a carrier in triage mode, which do you know
Yes,
what that
I haven't
means?
used it, but I do have the ability to do it.
Excellent. So you get you get a triage carrier, and you get a dread in siege mode, and you get a Loki with the fit to be able to like insanely web from insanely far range. What you do is you do things in an order so that the damage is controlled, but you basically use the Loki to web a battleship, and then instead of 10 people having to pound on this battleship, the dread basically blows it up in 2 volleys.
Alright.
So then the Loki, because the dread won't hit anything that's moving, like they just suck. The
Oh, I
tracking's
imagine.
terrible. So you need a Loki to hold the thing down, and then the dread can destroy it, like annihilate it. And you just kind of move on one at a time, and then there's like an order in which like you warp out and come back in to trigger the waves. And there's a little bit of a science to how you do it, but safely. But you can really speed it up. You can have multiple dreads and focus fire on these targets and annihilate them and really make quick work out of it. Some of these sites can range between 700 to 1 billion ISK
Good
per
God.
site. Yeah. But granted, you're flying
$1 billion ship.
1 to 2 billion ISK ships. Yeah, exactly. So, and then you should fit them up nice and shiny so that things go nice and smooth and you're quick about it. Plus, you won't be afraid to do that once you're cranking it.
Oh no, not at all. The Moros I actually bought already fitted out with everything on it, which is pretty good. My Thanatos is not, though.
Yeah. See, the thing is, like, we'd have to really time it right. It'd have to be a corp effort to get that ship in.
It's risky.
And, well, you could do it really easily if you have the route, and the route
First
isn't
room
always
done.
going to be easy, but basically, if we get into a C5 and we find we have to somehow get connected to another C5 or C6 that has a low sec out, and then from there we would we'd light a sino wherever that low sec is, and then you would jump from where you're docked, like you'd undock and jump instantly to that sino, and the sino would be like right outside the wormhole entrance, and you'd go from there, go right through the wormhole. Then you'd have to jump from that wormhole to however the path goes to get into our C5, but that's
Yeah, we
how
would
it
need
would
some
work.
kind of escort.
So you wouldn't be well, you don't. The only person you need to worry about is the guy lighting the sign up,
Someone you trustworthy, right?
because when you light it could be any one of us. I mean, I can do it, but the thing is that when you light a sino, it pops up in local, like as if it's like a planet, so people can see it, and they can't warp to it, I don't think, unless they're in your fleet. But and they can't use it, so they'd have to like find it, I think, with probes. So they would know in the area, hey, there's one up. But realistically, hopefully, by the time they could try and scan that ship down with combat probes, you would have already just undocked and then jumped.
Yeah. That is the theory, anyway.
The jump is like the jump is just like a warp. pretty quick. And all you do is like right click on whoever the guy is in your fleet. You have to be in the fleet. You right click, like say it was me, you right click my name, then it would say jump, not warp to member, it'd say jump to member, and you just hit jump, and as long as you got the fuel in there in your ship, it'll just jump. And then you'd appear at the other end, and then you just stroll right into the wormhole.
Yeah, if we can pull it off, I might consider doing it. I don't even care if I lose the ship, to be honest. I just want to lose it in a honorable manner.
Yeah, it would have to be the optimal time to do it. We wouldn't want to risk it. Plus, you'd want to do it like early in the morning on a weekend, or preferably during the week when people are sleeping or at work or getting ready for work. They're not playing. Like at night would be the worst. But if you could do it, if you could find a path out right before or right after system downtime, that
was the one and only time I was actually able to undock my carrier. The server went down and there was nobody in the system, so I was like, alright, I'm going to do something ballsy. So I just flew it around the station for a few minutes, and then I saw somebody like come in, I'm like, alright, we're done.
Yeah, I mean, if you're next to the station, they can't, as long as you don't hit them, they can't stop you from docking. If you hit because the timers have gotten, I think they've changed them a little bit, but yeah, there's a 1 minute, I think it's a 1 minute cooldown if you hit somebody. What do you mean bump you?
In my research of carriers, they do something, or used to anyway, called bumping, where if you try to get into a station, you know, line up or something to get into a station, they would have this frigates or whatever come up and ram your ship, you know, bump you in it. You know how it pushes you and your ship away?
Yeah, I think that's if you're trying to warp away.
That might be.
I don't know if that will affect you trying to dock if you're sitting right on top of it.
That certainly would suck.
But like, but yeah, like if there's a lot of people playing station games, that's what they're called now, that people purposely set themselves up outside like Jita or all the main trade hubs where there's a lot of people, and they purposely go and can flip like their friend so that they become a target. Nowadays, if you can flip somebody, you are fair game to everybody, not just the person you flip.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you become, on the overview, not just yellow, you're blinking yellow, which means you're fair game. 15 minutes, you're fair game. So what guys do is they can flip a friend, and then they come back to Jita and they sit there outside and they hope somebody shoots at them. And they'll be in like usually a cruiser, something that doesn't look that deadly. So they get shot at and then they dock up. And then they come back out in like a Vindicator or a Megathron, or, you know, something big. And then they will shoot at you. And because you shot at them, even though they were blinking, they can't engage you in combat, they should have it so that you can't go back in and grab a ship and change a ship and come back out. They should have some sort of a rule against that, because people are getting trapped into these games. But so anyway, the guys will come back out in something big and then start fighting. Now the thing is with this, if you can tank it long enough, because you can't dock now because you hit the guy, but if you don't shoot him, like say he comes out in something gigantic, it takes a little time for him to dock. So say that the timer starts at as soon as you stop shooting. So he goes and docks up, he's going to grab his Vindicator or his Megathron, comes back out. Now a good 15-20 seconds has passed now. He comes out and you realize, oh crap, I can't dock, so now you have to fight this guy or warp away. But if he's got you webbed and warp scrammed, you can't go anywhere. This is what you do. You just don't shoot. You let that timer. You just tank that damage as long as you can. Which, if you're in a decent ship, you'll be able to live for 30 or 40 seconds. and you just wait until your timer expires and you dock. But if you keep shooting him, your timer keeps getting reset. Every time you attack, your timer gets reset to 1 minute. It won't let you dock. So just so you know, if you ever get caught in a situation, you're close and you're sitting right outside and you're gonna die if you fight to the death, just stop fighting and just let the timer expire and then just dock.
Sounds like an interesting strategy.
That's what those guys do when they're blinking yellow and you shoot them. They don't shoot you purposely, because they can dock and switch ships.
So optimally, you want to find somebody blinking in like an asteroid belt. Well,
Yeah, well, they usually don't. The people, if they do that, they could have they could be trying to set you up. You don't really want to be shooting. You don't know how they're fit. But yeah, if you go to Jita or any of the trade hubs, you'll often see a guy out, at least one guy outside blinking yellow, trying to lure people into a fight. And he specifically is fit to have a lot of EHP and no DPS fits, as he's just tanking damage until he can dock up and switch ships and come back out and blow you up. And people sit there and well, I purposely play these games with guys. Sometimes I try and blow up their little ships, but I'm doing it in my Proteus, and they'll come out. One guy came out in a Loki, and another guy came out in a Megathron. But I can tank that damage and then just dock up, or I'll warp off. I'll warp away while they're switching their ship. I'll just take off and go somewhere else.
Dead Space is set up in Jita.
Yeah, I think I have one, but I mean, unless they know and they have friends and they know where you are, if you just keep jumping and warping, their timer is 5 minutes that they can attack you. So you'd have to just warp away until your minute timer is up, and you can just dock somewhere and let that 5-minute timer expire. Then you can come back out and they can't hit you.
EVE Online, man.
But what they usually hey, another thing they do, this is even worse. This is bad. They will be blinking, and they can see their timer because it's in the top left-hand corner of their screen. How they have that 15 minutes from when they can flip somebody. They purposely undock when the timer is like 5 seconds up, or like almost 10 seconds up. Yeah, and then you lock them and then shoot them, and they like try and time it so that it happens just at the moment you fire, that they're not yellow anymore.
Jesus.
Yep. But the nice thing is, if you have your security safety enabled at the green setting,
mine
I don't
pretty
think
much
it'll
stays
let
at
you.
green.
It'll give you a warning. Yeah, it'll give you a warning. But some people just might not be paying attention. They might just say, yes, I'm going to shoot this guy, he's yellow, and not realize that the timer expired.
Cheap.
Yep, that's the games people play.
It's legit.
Yep.
Unfortunately. EVE is like the only game I know where scamming is legal.
And they're up. Yeah. And another big thing that's going on now is people are pod hunting a lot and keeping an eye on whatever cargo you got. They don't even care. They purposely have ships set up to be able to kill any industrial ship aside from an Orca, unless it's a whole fleet doing this. But people have ships fit to purposely be able to withstand Concord for just long enough where they can kill your shuttle and your pod, or your industrial ship and your pod, or at least your industrial ship, so that they can try and get the whatever loot you have. Like if you have cargo, I should say. If you undock with a Plex or a skill book that's worth like 400 million or 300 million, you better warp out as soon as possible, because once somebody sees you, if they're hunting people for cargo, precious cargo, they're gonna kill you.
Good comfort, I suppose.
Yeah, so high sec
Not
really
anymore.
isn't safe. It's like there's no people are pirating so much nowadays, shooting ships for their cargo with special throwaway ships. You look at these people's kill boards. They use these same they lose their ship every time, so you see all these losses. It's the same ship every time, the same like little thrasher or some little cheap little cruiser or destroyer. But they make millions and billions of this because they just sell. If the stuff drops, they just sell it. Pays for their ship. You know, it just
I
they
guess you
make
do what
money.
you gotta do.
Yep. So yeah, be careful slow
Oh,
boating
careful. Yeah, I don't do
or on
autopilot.
autopilot.
I stay where I am and go 40 every time.
Yeah. If you're empty, it's really not that bad. People,
True
they're not
enough.
going to lose their ship for nothing. But yeah, all of the big money. I mean, it's more of a pain. We would need more guys for C5 life because you need to be on top of your game. You need to be aware of what's going on inside the hole. You need to be aware of how many wormholes are connected to you. We're learning those lessons in our C4, where it's a lot less risky, but once you're dealing with capital ships in a C5, it's a total different story. Yeah, I mean, you make a ton of money, a ton, if you do it right. I mean, if you could get in there and run the sites for a month, you would have at least, at the very least, maybe even in 2 weeks, you would have paid for your initial investment, and the rest would be all profit. Even if somebody came in and wiped us out, at least the initial investment of the ships and the passes and all that baloney would all be covered.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and some people, they've lived in C5s and they never get the boot. But then there's other corps that they just get off on squeezing people out. So you have to watch what you say to everybody. You can't be a care bear, but you can't be a dick and run your mouth.
True words have never been spoken. We are going full broadside on these two. And it's been, God, I don't even know how long. How long have we been talking here, Biz? I haven't been keeping track. I'm still in this mission. God, this is going to be a huge file to render. It's probably going to take up my entire hard drive.
But if we got nothing to do in the C5 eventually, or if we can't find one for a while, having Tengus is really is the way to go. You can. I know one group of guys. They'll sometimes have 10 guys, but usually it's like a 5-man fleet. They will just leave their hole, and they will nomad for like 2 or 3 days. They'll just go from hole to hole. They'll just hunting C4s. They'll go in there and just wipe out the sites and just keep rolling. Scan another one, try and find, just keep like chaining, wormhole chaining through different systems until they can find a C4 that's got sites, and they
That
just
sounds
run
interesting.
That's why I try and never leave too many sites up.
It's like an
because
open
people come in and
invitation.
they'll take them.
29.59. This guy's going down.
It happened once before. A couple times. I actually watched a fleet of 5-10 tear through sites in about, oh man, they made about 5 or 600 million in about an hour. Yep, they did like 4 barrack sites, which is an anomaly site, which you don't even have to use probes, you can just see it on the scanner. And they did 4 of those, and I think they did a magnetometric site, and that was it. They were in and out in about an hour.
Oh, I can warp. Let me return these guys here. I am going to cheat. Oh, this is going pretty well. I'm actually very pleased with that, what I've done so far.
Warp drive active.
Is this the gate to go through? I hope so. This is it.
So what have you been up to?
I've been doing a lot of Guild Wars. Mostly. Don't judge my Guild Wars.
Aha.
Did you
I
really?
tell you, I quit WoW.
Full-time Eve now, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I get sick of the... Yeah, I get sick of the grind. I get sick of the expansions.
Oh, the expansions
resetting all my
reset
gear.
gear?
Not in the way you think, but what basically happens is, like,
Miss Pandora?
this last expansion, for example. Before the expansion, yeah, before the Mist came out, your maximum level, the level cap, was 85. And I had, I think, 585 tunes. And a couple of them had some really good gear from the nights, I mean long nights that we spent raiding for like 3 or 4 hours straight, banging these bosses, you know, getting this gear. Well, when Mist comes out, you get a whole new area, you start doing all new quests. I mean, you still use...
I was always...
Did you ever play WoW?
Anti-WoW, so to speak. I never wanted to play as a cartoon character. That was my main gripe with it.
Okay, so they added these other zones. I mean, the main area stayed the same, but they added these other places you could go, and you quested to raise your level from 85 up to 90 was the new cap. Well, the gear that I had was really good at 85, but then as I hit 86 and 87, the gear that was dropping from the quest rewards was made for somebody who's level 87 or 86, or as you keep going, you know, even higher. So the gear that I had was now being replaced by junk, low quality items, like in Eve terms, like tier 1 stuff was replacing like officer mod stuff, because the new gear had stats and stuff designed for someone who was higher than me. So the gear just totally made my old gear
upsetting.
Useless. Yeah, and it happens every expansion, because as the level cap goes up, there's new gear. It's not like the gear doesn't get any stronger. Like if the gear you currently have, it'd be okay if the gear you had grew with you. It doesn't. So yeah, so like you get all this stuff, and you accumulate gear, because some of the sets actually look pretty cool, and they actually made a thing where you can change your current gear to look like old gear if you saved it and stuff like that, blah 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 blah. But anyway, but then what comes with the new area is new people to build up reputations with, and so now you're doing daily quests. Like these certain people would give you different quests every day, so you'd go see these same people every day. They'd only give you like 3 or 4 a day, so every day you go see them, do those 3 quests, go see another guy, do those 3 for that guy. You build up your reputation, so they'll give you certain stuff later on. But it's like I already did all that on 5 different guys from before. Now I got to do it all over again with new people, and then re-level all these guys, get all new gear. It's like every time you get your guys where you want, another expansion comes out. So I just said, I said I'm just sick of it. And the other thing is your account value doesn't grow just because you've been consistently playing. It grows based on where your guy is, where his gear score is in that expansion. So like Eve, it doesn't matter if you have 0 ISK, if you just been paying, if you did nothing, if you sat in your hangar or station and just trained skills non-stop from day 1 for 5 years and did 0, your guy would still be worth something, and then the next year he'd be worth more, and the next year he'd be worth more, just because his skill points are accumulating. Whereas in WoW, it doesn't work that way. It's like if you have like all crazy gear at that peak moment, it'll be worth something, and then as the new stuff comes out, it's like your guy just becomes less valuable.
But I think that's with almost all MMOs.
Yeah, I just the other thing with WoW is, well, you have to pay for the expansions. They're like you have to buy another game. You think after paying for a game for 7 years or whatever, 8 years,
well, they gotta
give you the damn expansion. No, you gotta buy it.
Not from the subscriptions, of course.
And then
you speak blasphemy.
They make it off you. Yeah, right.
Bite your tongue.
So the careless use of people's characters, like there are people doing some stupid stuff and there's no repercussion for it. You'll never lose your gear unless you physically destroy it. You can die 1,000 times, and in PvP or PvE, your gear does not go away. It will get damaged. They have like a damage percent, and then once it hits 0, it's broken, and it's basically the same as if you weren't wearing it, but it's not ruined. You just have to go and repair it, which costs a little bit of money, but it's nothing major. So there's really 0 risk
Which game was
in that game, and I did not like that.
I'm sorry. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Because it almost, yeah. Eve, you really have to be careful about what you do. You're gonna lose it all if you could lose all your money in just a nanosecond if you're not careful. Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember what Hin told us once a long time ago, but in the average turnaround, like 3 months maybe. People say after 3 months this game sucks and it's too complex and they leave. Oh, I remember talking to him about it once.
I don't remember him saying that.
Then again, those that leave are the 12-year-olds and so forth that you really don't want. They aren't willing to give it a shot. They want to go back to Call of Duty on the Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like to just pick it up, play it, put it down.
We've been playing Eve for a long time now.
Those kind of games.
Let me check it. How long have you been playing?
Yeah, I like...
Wow!
I like
you just made a year?
Congratulations!
Made a year, actually, you're not even a year yet. I think you're 3 days away from it. Your first corp was on the 25th. Yeah, you got another 3 days, man. You're not even a year old yet.
I'll
give you
set up an Eve birthday party for me.
Whereas me, I've been around since 2008. And you're probably much more experienced than I am. Oh, well, you forget. There was a lot of gap time in between playings. It was kind of like I had to be in the mood for it. I would play it hardcore for a month or two, and then I put it down for a month or two, then I come back a month or two. I went a couple years without playing. Maybe 3.
Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to tell you. That's the other thing with why I stopped with WoW. Because if you do that, if you stop, like say I stopped playing for 2 months, and my guild, they just kept, I mean they've been going through some problems, but with attendance for raiding. But if they didn't have that problem, and they just kept pushing forward, they would basically be squeezing me out of a spot. Like I couldn't come back after 2 months and just jump right into where I was before, because now they're chasing much harder stuff that you need to have the gear good enough to hang with those guys.
Damn near everywhere.
You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, but like in this game, if all you can fly is a cruiser, or all you can fly is a battleship, there is a spot for you. Like you have a Dami is always going to have its place. An Iteron is always going to have its place. You know, it's like these ships, as small as they are, even like an Imicus, that's like the cheapest little scanning ship, Imicus, right? Would you? I mean, you probably don't know this, but those cheap scanning ships are used by these big corp and alliances to light sinos for these massive fleets to jump, because they're cheap ships. They because when you light
not
a
to
sino,
change the
you
subject
can't
real
move for
quick,
10
Biz,
minutes.
but I just did it. I just finished the assault level 4 on my own. I am the ultimate badass. Yeah, you have to go through the 3 rooms.
Which the assault?
Ah, it ain't that bad.
That's a tough
I never
one.
got below 30% armor of that. But it's a little harrowing sometimes. You have to go through the stupid warp scrambles and Webbers. Gotta get rid of those frigs fast. Kronos, baby! By the way, it looks amazing.
What ship are you in? Yeah, it does.
Alright, guys. Fixer NL, I hope that satisfies it, and I hope talking with Biz wasn't too distracting, but there you go. I just did the assault level 4, and it's done.
Yeah, I've seen guys solo in like Worlds Collide and in some T2 battleship. I think it was a Vagar I saw a video of.
Yeah, man. Alright, so there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.
That's a tough one.
Fixer, thanks for the suggestion, man. That was a lot of fun. Keep them coming. Hey, Biz, say goodbye to everybody.
Won't mention why.
He's so shy. Later,
Goodbye.
guys. What?